Hi, and welcome to That's My Jam, Manny Monday, our very first episode. And what a challenge, getting everything set just when you think you have it all in place. Ooh, I'm hearing that echo. My Jam, Manny Monday, our very... Okay, so hopefully that will kill the echo that I'm hearing from myself, and hopefully you're still able to hear me. Let me get it to where I can see comments and things like that. Okay, hopefully it's somewhere down here. I have you so that you are able to not only see me, but I'm going to share my camera so that you'll be able to see my hands as well. I'm just going to do a little test to make sure that you're able to, okay, cool. You're able to hear me loud and clear. All right, so let me go here to, I wonder, okay, I'm not, okay, we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. All right, so that's my jam, Manny Monday. It's all about seeing how to do the wraps. What do they look like on hands? And for us all to have some fun during our nails together. Now, if you've never tried Jamberry before and you want to sample it, I do have some samples. I do have some samples for you. So, if you want to try it out, you want to see, hey, what is this like? And you want to be able to participate live in next week's Manny Monday, that's my jam, Manny Monday, then text 980-223-4222 and tell me that you want a sample, and I will send that to you. If you're in the U.S. or Canada, I will get that sample to you. All right, so let's see, last Thursday, I talked about the September Stylebox, and I have those wraps right here, taking it out of the jacket. We're going to put on the September Stylebox wraps, September Stylebox. Okay, I am looking at myself here. Okay, this is way more comfortable. Okay, so we're going to do the September Stylebox today. And this is what all we're going to put on. I had on nail lacquer earlier and took that all off and did a nail prep. But I'm going to take you through the steps of the nail prep so you'll know how to do that as well. Since this is our first one, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that and see if I can see what's going on the page. Because I'm using my cell phone and the desktop. Several things going on here. And so I want to see if I can see what you guys are seeing right now. Then we'll get into all of our tools that you need and go from there. Okay, cool. Okay, so I can see it from there. Okay, perfect. I'll be able to see your comments as we go along. All right, so let me tell you what all I have here in front of me on my desk. Of course, I've got the wraps, September Stylebox, and I have my heater, and I've got cuticle remover, cuticle oil, I have nail scissors, a glass nail file, our Jamberry file. Of course, the glass file is a Jamberry file also. I've got nail clippers, orange stick, buffer, let's see, wrap and nail lacquer remover just in case I see a spot that I missed, and nail prep, and strengthening base coat, and smoothing base, and I'll tell you all about that. So let me go to the next screen now that I've showed you everything in front of me. Okay, perfect. I'm going to adjust this. I want you all to see. Let's see, that's the heater that you're seeing. Okay, cool. Oh, this is going to be so neat. Okay. I get excited already to be able to show you this live. Now, something really fun that I started doing, I used to work off of a whole sheet and work it that way, but I'm going to cut this in half just to make it a little easier for me to work with. This part here has nothing to do with the application. It's just in the setup. And I didn't want to cut it in half before the show because I wanted to make sure that you saw the full sheet and what they look like full. So you're able to see that. Okay. Let me get them cut in half. And with the September style box, we actually have 3 different designs. And the way I like to decide which finger which one will be the accent, which one will be the main, I just kind of feel it out. So we end up with 2 half, the half sheets. I'm gonna set these aside, and I have the 2 that we're working with. I mentioned the 2 base coats, the strengthening base coat. Oh, let me go back to the screen for a quick second. I mentioned 2 base coats, the strengthening base coat, which I've had for over a year now, and then the smoothing base. The smoothing base coat, if you've got ridges in your nails, it'll make it nice and smooth. I always like to use this to make the nails smooth. Even if you don't have ridges, it's good to use as a base just between your nail and the nail wrap. Oops. The strengthening base coat is not a part of the standard Jamberry instructions that are provided for your application. It's something that I like to use for my own nails because if you've been following the page for a while or not, I was a nail biter for over 30 years. And so I'm working on strengthening my nails, and I always like to have, the clear base for that. And then I added the smoothing base. So I actually have two two things as a base under my nail wraps, but the official instructions does not include all of that. Okay, so I think I've taken you through everything. So I'm going to move a couple of things out of our way that I know we won't be using and go to the screen here so you can see my hands. All right. One thing I am looking for, of course, oh, there it is. I like to use, these are lint-free nail pads. I'll show you here. These are lint-free nail pads, and I ordered these off of Amazon. You can, of course, use cotton swabs. You don't have to use these, but this just makes it, lint-free as you're cleaning off your hands. So let me show you the nail prep. We have 2 different tubes here. One is for oil, one is for cuticle remover. Your cuticle, it's so commonly thought that the cuticle is actually the skin around our nail, but the cuticle is actually there may be a thin layer on top of your nail, and so that's what we want to get off so that we have a nice smooth place for our wrap to fall. So go ahead and show you what that looks like. I am right-handed, so as we go through, you'll notice which hand is more dominant, and it does not matter. Oops, my cuticle, my orange stick here. It doesn't matter which one is your dominant hand. Just work it, the best way you can. And what you're doing is scraping off any extra skin. It'll flake up on you. You'll be able to see it. I did nail prep beforehand, but I wanted to at least show you what it looks like. Mine is pretty clean here. Make sure you're able to see right now. I'm taking you through those steps. There are sometimes I will actually do nail prep. Oh, there's some. I'll actually do nail prep like the day before while sitting watching television and just do it that way. A lot of times we're just sitting. We think we don't have time, but you've got plenty of time. The prep is what takes longer than the actual nail wrap application. So, alrighty. And then one thing that I like to add to it is once you've done your scraping off, is just take the lint-free square here and just rub to get that off. We'll take it on off. All right, so let's go to the other side, do the same thing. If you have any questions as we are going through our Mani Monday, let me know. Just post your question in the comments. I should see a notification pop up on my screen here and be able to answer that for you. I've been wearing the nail wrap since October 2015, and there's a slight learning curve. It's just like it was when you first learn how to polish your nails. And if you're like, oh, Tiffany, I never learned how to polish my nails, or I suck at it, or I end up with polish all over, that is one thing you don't have to worry about with the nail wraps, is you're not going to get messy and have it all over the place, because it is a vinyl wrap, so it's going to stay whole. It's not going to dry out or anything like that. And you can see this is this is my less dominant hand. Now, normally I would go slower to get it down in there. And again, I've already actually done the nail prep, but I wanted you to get an idea of what that entailed. Just getting that off. All right. Once the wrap is on, it will seal, so it'll have it'll be bonded, so water won't be able to get underneath. We'll do enough putting pressure enough on the wrap so that there's a nice seal. Okay, so you'll be able to do your regular activities. All right. Okay, so that part is done. And then, oh gosh, I knew there would be one thing that I would not have close, but we'll make do for today. I'm gonna push back the skin here. This is actually I think it's called the epernicium. I am not a nail professional. I'm learning the correct terms so that I can have the best application possible. So we're going to push that on back out of the way. Now, our nails carry all kinds of oils and stuff, so I've got nail prep that I'm going to wipe off to get some of the oils and stuff off. And I actually use that a couple of times during the application process. All right, making sure you can still see both me and what I'm doing here with my hands. Okay, nail prep. So this is nail prep cleanser. It is non-acetone. Also, let me show you this. The nail wrap and lacquer remover, it is non-acetone as well. Acetone just completely dries out our nails, so it's not the best for it. All right, you'll find both of these on our website, and I'll make sure to include those links for you. If you are in a rush, you can go ahead and go to tiffanyparson.jamberry.com. If you're on my Facebook page, Tiffany's Fashionable Nails, click on, there's a link there to the website. You'll see it. You can go right to it from the pinned post and be able to go ahead and hop on there to see what all we have. All right, so if you notice anything under the nail, you can go ahead and clean that out as well. Okay, so everything is all good. All right, so from here, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my strengthening base. And again, I want to emphasize that is not a part of the standard process for Jamberry, but it's something that I like to do personally on my own nails, just to make sure, you know, they're protected and all that good stuff. We've also got the smoothing base coat, so you'll have that as well. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm doing a couple of things at once here. Okay, let's go ahead with our strengthening. And we're doing thin layers. I'm doing thin layers on my nails. One thing I really like about the Jamberry, the base and top coats, and the nail lacquer is that they dry pretty quickly. So we won't be sitting here for a long time waiting for this to dry. By the time I finish the other hand, it'll be ready to go. Alrighty. Let's see if I can go a little faster. And again, this is the strengthening base coat. This is even good just by itself for your nails, so you have a protector on your nails. If you just like clear, maybe just like clear nails, bare nails, this might be an option for you. Alrighty, and it's got one more thumb. Then we've got the smoothing base coat, and I use that. Again, it's perfect if you have ridges. My mother wears wraps, and she has ridges in her nails. She wore acrylic nails for a long time. And so when she started using the nail wraps, we would use the smoothing base coat, and I really liked how it worked out for her. So then I started trying it on mine, and I liked that as well. It made it a lot smoother. So anyway, let that go. And let's go to the smoothing. Now, let's say you have nail lacquer, nail polish, whether it's Jamberry or someone else's, and it's been sitting for a while. You want to, instead of shaking it up, you know how we shake, 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 shake. Instead of shaking it up like this, roll it in your hands instead. Roll it. And that'll get whatever is at the bottom back to the top. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, on to the next step with our smoothing. If you wear acrylic nails, the nail wraps will go over the acrylics just fine. And if you wear gel nails, they will go over those as well. You can even swap out your wraps if you have gel or acrylic nails, because you use the non-acetone wrap remover, and then that doesn't affect your acrylics. You know, acetone will eat up your acrylic, so and your gel, so the non-acetone won't. All right, I'm trying to think how I want to do the wraps as far as what will be the dominant and what will be the accent. And I think I'm going to do the blues as the main and have the pinks as the accent for today. I'll start off, and then we'll go from there to see. Sometimes you change in the middle of what you've already decided. But that's the fun part about this. Bring this camera a little more. My thumb has like a dent in the nail. And I think a long time ago I slammed my thumb in the car door. And so it has taken a long time to get, recover from that. All right, so I think we're all set and ready to go on to the next step, which is putting on the nail wraps. So, go ahead and open our, we don't need our buffer just yet, but we'll just have it all ready and open. All right, so this I've decided will be our accent. So the pink will be the accent, and the blue will be the main. So let's start with that. Oh, which fingers are going to be accent? There is no rule on which finger is accent. It doesn't have to be your ring finger. It doesn't have to be any, a set finger, whatever finger you want. Probably the most common is the ring finger. But let's do something a little different. And I'm going to do the pinky and the thumb as my accents and then have all blue in the middle. So my pinky is the smallest wrap at the end. So my pinky is the smallest one. So that's always easy to figure out. Pinky is the last one for me. So I'm going to just clean off all the nails, just clean off any oil. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go for the pinky. And it's actually, my pinky is probably even smaller. When you're sizing your wraps, you want to make sure that you have extra room on the sides. It's not completely covering the nail. Sometimes for my pinky, I have to trim a little more off the sides after I put it on or once it's gotten settled in. So you don't want it to completely cover it up. You want to have a little slither of skin along the sides and at the tip. So, go for it. There are a couple ways, different ways to do this measuring. And you can go ahead and lay it on your finger and cut it, or cut it directly in half if you know your finger is half. As you can see, mine is right about where the orange stick is the length of my pinky. Can you see that? Side to side. Okay, so I'm going to cut above where the orange stick is. Okay, dropping things. All right, so the heater is on. Heater's on. Let me turn it so you can see it. Bring it in view there. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is place the wrap on my pinky. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a little heat. And using the orange stick, press down in the middle. You can use your orange stick, you can use your finger. We also have a cuticle pusher. That's what I don't have on camera, but we keep rolling, right? And then we're going to heat the side, and then side. Let's give it a couple of seconds. And for the sides, I'm going to pull and ease it down. Same thing here, pull and ease it down. And then you can use your finger to get a nice compression there, or you can use your orange stick or cuticle pusher, either way. And I've got a lot of extra on this nail. You may not have so much extra, but I got a whole lot of extra here, too much extra. So let me grab my scissors and fell. Okay, and I'm going to cut off the extra. Some people save the extra to use for the toes. You can do that or not. And you just put it right back on the sheet. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a little heat, just pointing at the heater, and press down, and then just wrapping that extra over the nail itself. And then I'm going to give a little heat to the back of it, and then just press again. Press, 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 press. Along the sides. And you can do that with your hand, or take your orange stick and do that. I like to go from hand to hand so I don't have to remeasure the nail every single time. I used to try to remember from one side to the other, and I was okay until I got to the thumb. So what I start doing is just going pinky, pinky, thumb, thumb, and you know, go from there. You'll find what works best for you. So that one's all set. We're going to leave that one alone and move on to the other pinky. I'll turn this on and off. The heat, because it is still warm, the heat is warm, but in the wintertime, keep that little heater running. It keeps you warm while you do your nails. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna cut. I know my nail is a little bit above where the orange stick is. Even I even had extra after that. And cut. I think the most difficult thing getting used to is just deciding how you want to cut the wrap. Whether you want it in half or cut it along as you go. Okay, same thing, placing it on the pinky, and roll the orange stick off of it. So I'm placing it on there. I haven't pressed or anything, just placed it on. This still gives you time. If it's not totally lined up, you can readjust it if you want to. So I'm going to give it a little heat. And come on back, press down with my orange stick right in the middle. And come all the way up. And then go side, side with a little heat. Then I'm pulling. And fold it down, pull. So it wraps around the nail and press down. And then again, same thing on this one where I have all that extra. We don't need all that. I don't need all that extra. And I'm not cutting all the way down to the nail. I am just cutting enough extra off so I can still have some to hang over that I will file off later. So not too close to the nail, but just enough. You can, just gauge it how you want. Cutting with my less dominant hand here. Okay, so I'm going to aim at the heat. And then come on back, press all around, and press down. And then The wraps will last you up to 2 weeks on your hands. You can even put them on your toes. And they last up to 6 weeks on your toes. We don't do a whole lot with our toes. And then you can do on the back side, a little heat, come on off, and press down. So now we have cute little pinkies. So let's go for the thumbs. Now I messed up one thumb, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Go to our accent here. My thumb is somewhere in here. So let's see. Again, making sure there's a little slither of nail peeking out on both sides. If you're not sure, go with the smallest one. If you're not exactly sure. Okay. All right. For my thumbs, they go, it goes straight across the bottom there. So I'm going to cut off some of this curve at the bottom. I'm going to cut off some of the curve at the bottom so that it goes straight across. When I first started wearing my nail wraps, I didn't do that, and it looked kind of funny, and I have problems with my thumbs, and I just thought, oh, well, there's something wrong with my thumbs, but it wasn't my thumbs. It just needed to get some tweaking. Okay, so I'm going to cut that curved tip off so it's straight, and I don't always get it perfectly straight across, so don't stress over that. You're the one that you'll notice all the little things. Most people won't notice all that stuff. And then for thumbs, since I'm not really sure about where the stopping point is with the nail, so I'm going to place it on there and roll off, and then go ahead and cut. My thumbnails, I'm learning to go really fast, so sometimes I have a whole half, sometimes not. I think I'll be able to get 2 thumbs off of it. I'm going to try to get 2 thumbs off of it. Okay, so because I haven't pressed or anything, I still got time to readjust it if I need to. I won't do that one. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give it a little heat on the flat side. And then come off the heat. Come off the heat. Now, you can use your finger if you want to press down with your finger and come on up the side. And then give a little heat on the side. A little heat on the side. I'm going to pull, and this is how I do my thumbs. I'm pulling, and then I'm going to press it down with my finger. And then on the other side, same thing. My index finger comes in to help. My thumbs are really curved. My thumbs and my index fingers are super curved. So I do a little extra pulling for them and get in some other fingers to help. So pressing down with my finger. I feel like for my thumbs, I get more, I'm able to press down harder with my other thumb versus the orange stick. Okay, so I'm going to put a little heat on the back side, heat, and then press down. And now we have the thumb and pinky are ready to go. 2 accents. So let's get the other side. Now, because of how my thumb is, I don't have any extra left over. So I'm going to just take it off. I'm going to take it off of the clear sheet here. Notice the only time I actually touch the wrap is when it's on my nail and I know it's extra overhang and I'm not going to use that part. Okay, so I'm going to cut the little curve off. And I'm just gauging with my eye where that curve is. And then I'm going to place it on my thumb and hope it's long enough to go all the way to the tip. Okay, there it is. It's not quite all the way, but I'm not going to worry about it for our demonstration today. So we'll give it a little heat. and press down in the middle and press up. I'm going to go side to side. Normally, of course, you would want it to go all the way up to the top of the thumb because I don't have any extra to pull, so I'm going to do my best and just pull and press with my index finger here. Okay. Look at that. When you're live and on camera, you just make adjustments. I'm tempted to like grab an extra piece and just put it on there. Do I have it? I don't have an extra. Oh, this might work. Look at this, you guys. When it's your own mani, you can do whatever you want to do. So I've got this extra piece. I'm gonna see if it'll fill in. It may or may not work. It's no big deal if it doesn't, but I'm gonna try. Okay, this is called patchwork. So patching that little piece, and then come in here. Okay, I probably should take myself off the camera for now, and then that way you can probably focus. There you go, little patchwork, and reheat and press down. Yeah. Make it do what it do, right? Okay. Perfect. Pressing down. All right, nice. So now we have both. And my hands, they are not wet. So if right now I had to get up and go to the bathroom, I could. My hands aren't wet. Now, I wouldn't go dunking my hands in water, but you know, it's okay to wash your hands. Here's the other thing. If the phone rings while you're doing your nails, you can stop and answer the phone or whatever you need to do and not have to worry about messing up anything because they are not wet. I love that because, you know, that's what usually happens. You think, oh, my nails are wet, and they are not. All right, so let's go on. We're done with the accents. So let's move along to the rest. And we've got a mixed mani. So we have a choice. We can do all the blue or switch it up with the middle. And I think what I want to do is the middle one could be different, or maybe a pointer finger. This is how I'm going to decide it. I want to use one wrap for two different fingers. So let me see. My middle finger fits one. I think my middle and my index will go together, and the ring finger is off by itself. So this is me really wanting to conserve the wrap. So this way we'll use this one for the ring and this one for the middle and the index. And then then we have to use our other sheet. Go to the other one. Or maybe not. Maybe I could. This is where the whole plan switches up, right? So, okay, let's go ahead and do the middle and the index because I know for sure which one for those. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to place, because again, with my index finger, I'm not 100% sure the length. So I'm going to, when you're placing the wrap on your finger, you want to make sure that it's not covering the eponychium, that skin at the bottom of the nail. You want to have a little space. You don't want the wrap covering, because if it covers, guess what? It's going to lift on you later today or in the next couple of days. It will lift. So I'm cut that off, and now let's place it. And I'm just placing. If I need to readjust it, I can. So if you need to pull it, you can. All right, so it's ready to go. So let's heat. And press. So this finger's a little wider, so I like using my fingers for it. So I'm pressing the bottom and then the center, and then I'm getting the side. Side, and then side. And then I'm going to pull and press. then I don't have a whole lot of extra over, so I'm going to not worry about that and aim my finger for the heat. And then come off and fold it over, wrapping it all the way around so it takes on the shape of my nail. We will file off the extra, so it's not going to stay in that spot, but we want to get a nice seal on the end. And then take it on the back and then press down. All right, let's go ahead and do the index finger on the same hand. Index, same hand. And I'm just going to use the half for this. Come on down, same thing we've been doing. Now, what you can do, see how much extra that has? You can cut it off before heating it up. So that's what I'm going to do this time. And I'm showing you different ways of how you can handle this extra. Okay, now it's not totally placed, so if you want to move it around to readjust, you can. So, and I do leave enough extra to pull and tug. So heat, come off the heat, press down, press in the middle, and get the sides. Side, side. Now I'm going to pull. There we go. Other side, pull and press. And now see. And this one is a curved, super curved finger. It will curve. If it grows, usually when it grows out, it'll break off. You may have that same experience. So I'm not sure how long it gets, but it gets kind of wrinkled at the end because of that curve. So I'm going to use the orange stick to press that out, almost like ironing it out. There we go. Okay, let me aim for the heat and press down. Hold it down so it takes the shape of that. And I'm going to heat it on the back, side, and press, press, press. The main thing you don't want to do is touch the adhesive side of the nail wrap, the side that you're putting on your nail. You don't want to touch that with your finger because you got oil. It's like, when you touch a sticker, you mess up the sticky part with your oils from your hand. I'm going to do a little extra pressing on this one. This is my super curved nail. Okay, I think it's all set and good. Now, let me get my ring finger. And I'm going to use, let's see, I put all this extra on this side. Let me lift that up. I need to pause 1 second. My cord for the computer is across the road, so I'm going to grab that very quickly and come right back. There is no pause, so I'll be right back. 1 second. Climb out of my chair. Okay. Alrighty. Now I am back. Let me readjust the camera. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Alright, so I left off with my ring finger, and I'm going to do a quick check to see where we are here. Alright. So, okay, go into the ring finger. Look at that. I'm liking this already. What do you think? So let's go ahead and get this ring finger. And I almost want to switch up. Let's switch up and do pink. Well, oh, I did the little one, so don't worry about that. Okay, let's stick with the blue. See, I just, my mind doesn't even go back and forth, switching sides. Okay, ring finger. Alrighty. I'm going to place it right above my, right above the skin near the nail. Cut that off. And the cutting doesn't have to be perfect. That's extra. That's going to be filed off. Give you time to reposition as you need to. Oh, turn our heat on. Give a little heat. A little is all you need, and pressing down. Now this finger is a little, it's not as wide as the other one, so it'll almost be ready to go after that one heat. But I still do side to side, just like with the pinky. It's narrow like that too. Okay, and press down with the orange stick. You'll see sometimes I'm pressing with the orange stick, sometimes not, sometimes both. The more you do this, the more comfortable you'll get in applying it for yourself. Now here I've got a lot of extras, so I'm going to cut some of that off. Not all the way down, but just so that when I fold it over, it's not touching my skin. So I'm going to aim for it and then fold it down. And there we have it. And turn it this way. Flat. Alright. Voila! There we go. A whole hand. How about that? And it's not wet. Let me turn the heat off. It's not wet or anything like that. Now, I have 3 more fingers to do. And what I'm going to do is stop right here with the one hand and show you what to do now that we have this. And what do we do? Because we still have extra hanging over, right? So the ones that you did earlier are going to be cooled off. So it'll be time to go ahead and take those off. So we started with the pinky and the thumb. So those are the ones I'm going to start taking off first, pinky and thumb. The Jamberry file, if you are a Stylebox subscriber, you have a nice Jamberry file. Or if you request a sample, I include, this is actually a deluxe sample for my viewers. I include an orange stick that you've seen me use and this Jamberry nail file, and you get a sheet of accent nails. This is a deluxe sample gifted to all of my viewers that would like to try with me live. If that is you, simply text 980-223-4222 and I will send you your sample. Okay, so let's file it off. So we're starting with the pinky. I was about to start right in the middle. Okay, starting with the pinky and just filing off the extra. So I'm gonna file straight down. Either go to a 90-degree angle or a 45-degree angle. And a fresh nail file will be grittier, so you'll be able to get off. It's just to get that extra off. And my pinky, I have to do it a little different than the others because it's smaller. So on the sides, this is not 90 degree because I'm trying to get right in the corner. The other option for that is if you've got a small finger like mine, or if you're doing your child's nail grafts and they've got a small finger, is to cut right close to the nail, not the nail itself, and just trim off So I do a mix of the file and um, the scissors. You could even do the clippers just to get the extra off. I stopped doing the clippers because sometimes I grab my nail and I want all my nails. I don't want to accidentally clip them off, so I don't use that. Okay, so that's that one. We'll go to the thumb next because it was the second one we did, and it's nice and dry. There it is, coming right on off. And get it all the way to the corner there. Again, those curve. It curves around to the corner. You have to go get it. So get it out of the corner. Don't want to pull it. Grab your scissors and help it right on off. Now you're good to go. You should be able to see your nail under there. You shouldn't be able to see wrap. You should be able to see your nail. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of those and finish up my hands, and I'll post a final picture so you can see how it all turned out. But as you can see, this left hand is all set and ready to go with our mixed mani using 3 different designs. So I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me on our very first That's My Mani Monday. So be on the lookout on Thursday. I'll post what's coming up for next Monday. That's when the jam mail comes in and you'll find out what are we going to put on next week. Just as a reminder, these nail wraps will last you up to 2 weeks. I just like to change out my designs every single week because I get bored. And if you ever bitten your nails and you start to get bored, guess what happens? You start picking at it. So this gives me something to do so that I don't mess them up. Anyway, thanks again for watching. You have a wonderful